Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am very excited about because I've been thinking about it for a while and just kind of figuring out how I wanted to film it and all of that. But today's video is going to be, put in very simple terms, what I do with my kids all day. If you're new here, I am a stay-at-home mom. I have a son who is 3 and a daughter who is almost 2. And in this video, I'm going to show you our morning to night schedule, hour by hour, how I entertain my kids and what we do every single day. So I hope that you find this helpful if you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, and let's get started. Okay, so I like to think of being a stay-at-home mom as a job because it is. It is work to be at home with your kids. And whenever I was a teacher, there are 2 things that I did pretty much for every single day to make sure that I had a successful day following. So the first thing is getting things ready the day before. I could not go into a day of teaching and not have any lesson plans ready to go and just wing it. That would have been a disaster, and I probably would not have kept my job. So that is something I do now as a stay-at-home mom, is making sure that I have things planned and ready to go the night before. The second thing I do as a stay-at-home mom that I did as a teacher is make sure that I have a schedule. Back when I was teaching, I knew first hour I have these students, this is what we're doing. Second hour, this is what I have. And obviously it's a little more flexible now because I don't have a bell ringing in my ear every 45 minutes telling me that it's time to switch activities. But I do, for the most part, like an hour by hour schedule, have something for my kids every day. So first, let's talk about what I do the night before to make sure that my morning is successful. So I always set up morning bins for my kids. You don't have to overthink this. I just have a bin for each of them from the Dollar Tree, and then I just fill it with any kind of random activities. I usually put 3 to 4 things in there. Books are always a good thing. You can do cars, Play-Doh, coloring, blocks. I mean, anything that you already have on hand. You really don't need to go out and buy anything for this. If you do feel like you need stuff, places like Five Below, the Target Dollar Spot, Dollar Tree, anything like that, just something that's going to keep them busy. So I set that up the night before, and I always make sure that I have a snack so that whenever they come downstairs, they have their bins ready to go and they have a snack. Now, I have them have a snack in the morning because I don't want to cook breakfast first thing. I don't get hungry right away whenever I wake up, but my kids do. So this way they have something that can tide them over until I am hungry and I'm ready to cook breakfast. That way we can all eat together and our breakfast is hot instead of me making it for them and then me eating it cold 30 minutes later. Okay, so let's talk about the morning whenever my kids wake up. Typically the first 2 hours of the morning I refer to as my morning routine. My kids wake up anytime between 6 and 7. Today, whenever I filmed this, they woke up at 6:30, so we came downstairs, they got started on their morning bins, they had their snack, and then I made my coffee. And I drink my coffee on the couch while they play with the morning bins. Now, I don't want to give a false representation of what this looks like. My kids do not sit there perfectly like robots and play with everything silently while I enjoy my coffee on the couch. I mean, sometimes that happens, but it's not very common. So usually, I have to intervene. Sometimes they might want something that's in the other kid's bin. And the whole point of this is to make your morning easy. I like doing this because I don't want to turn the TV on first thing in the morning. I'm not completely against TV time or anything. My kids have it later in the day. I just don't want them to wake up first thing and watching TV. If that works for you guys and that's what makes your morning easy, then there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I do this to make my morning easy. And if my kids aren't interested in what's in their bins and they want to play with something else in the living room, that's fine. If they want to take their bins into the living room and play with them there with me, that is fine. I'm not going to make them sit there at their table the entire time I'm drinking my coffee. This is just to kind of keep them occupied first thing in the morning. So usually about the time that they're kind of getting bored with whatever they're playing with in their bins is the time that I'm finishing up my coffee, and then I make breakfast. This morning we had toast and fruit. This is a pretty typical breakfast for us. If we don't have this, we usually have something like bacon and eggs. And then for breakfast, we always sit at the table together, no TV, and we always eat the same thing. I make one meal for all 3 of us. After breakfast, we move on to the couch, and then this is the time that I really like reading to my kids other than bedtime. This is my favorite time of day to read to them because we're still in our pajamas, we're all snuggled up. There's nothing busy in the day that's started yet. So this is just a really fun time. I tell them, go pick up 5 books or whatever, and we pretty much will read for as long as they want to. They love being read to. So we usually do sit on the couch for quite a while. I keep a basket of books by our fire. Also, I want to mention in the overlay clips, my house is more of a disaster than it normally is. I am filming this 3 days after Christmas. Now, I don't know if you guys have your homes all together on December 28th, but here we do not. So everything is a little bit more crazy than usual, but that's okay. I am embracing the post-Christmas chaos. But anyway, we keep a basket of books by our fireplace right now. We still have our Christmas books in there. So I think that's what we were reading this morning. I can't even remember that far back. So whenever they're done reading books, then we head upstairs, we get ready. This is something else that I do every single day is get ready. Now I don't like go all out. It's usually like leggings and a shirt and like some minimal makeup or something, but I do think it's important to actually get yourself dressed and ready every single day as a stay-at-home mom. And then I get my kids ready during this time as well. And that pretty much sums up our morning routine. So just to recap, we do the morning bid with the snack, and then we do breakfast, and then books, and then so at this point it's about 9 o'clock, and from 9 to 10 is my workout time. Now I do work out with my kids. I know that sounds like a nightmare. It's really not that bad once you get used to it. My kids love being involved in everything that I do. I think most kids are that way, and this is really like the time that I have to work out if I'm going to, because I don't want to wake up early in the morning before them and do it, and I'm way too tired at night after they're down for bed. So if I want to get my workout in, I've got to do it with them. So every day looks a little bit different. Some days I put them in the stroller and go on a power walk. Other days we do like workout videos at home. I actually enjoy doing both, like going for a walk with them and then bringing them home and doing a workout video. But I am 21 weeks pregnant, and I am like really struggling with sciatica right now. I had it in my last pregnancy too, and it's just, it is what it is, and walking like really aggravates it. So I'm not doing that right now, but I am doing like prenatal workouts. I really like Pregnancy and Postpartum TV is the YouTube channel I just recently found. So I've been doing those workouts pretty much every day. Today I did a 30-minute full body workout, and I set my kids up with a snack, which definitely helps, but sometimes they like want to do it with me, which is really fun. So yeah, we just like make the most of it, and you can't go into working out with your kids thinking that, you know, it's going to be like the best workout of your entire life. And plus, with being pregnant, I'm not trying to like go crazy. I'm just trying to stay active. It's good for me, it's good for the baby, and also just set a good example for my kids that are at home with me. Okay, so after workout, 10 o'clock, this is our daily outing. I leave the house every single day with my kids unless someone is sick or unless the weather is dangerous to drive in. I think this is so important if you're staying at home with your kids to get out of the house. I know it can be hard, I know it can feel daunting, but just like everything else I'm talking about in this video, the more you do it, the easier it gets. So what we do just like depends on the day. If I need to run errands, I load them up and I bring them with me to wherever I need to go. The most common places we visit are the park and the library because they're free. We do budget in probably like once a month or so for me to take them somewhere like a kids museum or the trampoline park, because those, like if you go, you know, every week or whatever, that does add up. So we do budget that in like once a month about. But yeah, parks, libraries are your best friend if you want to get out of the house with your kids. Today I needed to run some errands, so we went to Michael's. We needed to get some fondant for Eva's birthday cake because her party's coming up in a couple of weeks. And then after that we went to Target because she is also outgrowing her 18-month clothes, so I needed to pick her up some 2T things. So usually, depending on what we're doing, we're out of the house for like 1 to 2 hours. Today we were out for about an hour. We came back at like 11, and at that point it's lunchtime. Just whenever we get home, like between 11 and 12 is whenever we eat lunch. So at this point, whenever we get home and I'm getting lunch ready, I turn on the TV, I let them watch something. This is the first time that I've turned the TV on today. And I'm just gonna let them watch while I get lunch ready. We need groceries really bad, so it's kind of one of those days where I was like scrounging around just trying to figure out what the heck I could give them. And then I usually just like have leftovers for lunch. Lunch is like the one meal of the day that I'm a little bit more lenient on. Sometimes we eat the same thing, we don't always eat the same thing, and sometimes if I'm feeling really nice, probably like once a week, I will let them eat in their like little Pottery Barn chairs in the living room and watch something. Honestly, it's just like whenever I feel like I need that. If I feel like I need a little bit more relaxation at this point, then I will let them do that. But like I said, usually that's like once a week. I let them watch TV while they eat lunch, and that is the only meal that we do that for. So after lunch, we turned the TV off at 11:30. They just kind of played around in the living room for a little bit. And then noon is nap time for Eva and quiet time for Jonah. So Eva, she goes down at 12. She usually wakes up sometime between 1:30 and 2. I don't make Jonah do quiet time that entire time, probably like 30 to 45 minutes. He does quiet time just long enough for me to like have a cup of coffee and sit down and just like, you know, like you need a break. It is okay if you need a break in the middle of the day from your kids. You are still a good mom. So I drink a cup of coffee on the couch. I just enjoy not doing anything after a busy morning with them. And then usually for quiet time, I don't care what the heck he does. He can do whatever he wants as long as he's not destroying something. Usually he will want to watch something in our room. So I put something on for him today. He just like lays in our bed and watches something. And then whenever he's had enough, he comes downstairs. Usually like 30 to 45 minutes, like I said. And then at that point, until Eva wakes up, this is like our special one-on-one time together. So whatever he wants to do, if he wants to snuggle and watch a movie, we can do that. If he wants to play with his trains, we can do that. If he wants to do Play-Doh, like whatever he wants to do with me, I let him pick the activity. And today he wanted to watch Bluey, so we cuddled up, we watched Bluey on the couch. And then Eva woke up at 1:40 today. So at 1:40, I let them each have a snack. And then after she's awake and they have a snack, it is outside time. Now, we do not use winter as an excuse to not go outside. We do live somewhere that has 4 seasons. We're in the Midwest. What the weather is, obviously, if it's like dangerously cold or if there's lightning or something, then we don't go outside. But if it's just like normal December cold, like it was today, we bundle up with, we put coats, hats, gloves, snow boots, whatever they need to be warm. In the springtime, we wear rain jackets and rain boots, and we go outside and we splash in the puddles. Again, as long as the weather isn't unsafe, we go outside. Now, I do want to mention, I totally understand that being able to go outside is a privilege. I know not everyone lives somewhere where it is safe to just walk out of your front door with your kids. I know not everyone has a house with a backyard. When I was Jonah's age, we lived in like a little apartment, so that was not an option for us. So if that is the case for you, then this can be like a good indoor activity. I didn't say the time. This is like 2 to 3 is our outside time. So if that's not an option for you, you can do Play-Doh, you can paint, you can color, any kind of craft stuff is really good. Sensory play is really good, and you don't need anything fancy for sensory. Literally, if you have like a Tupperware container and some dry rice or dry beans and measuring cups, kids love that. My kids love it. They think it's amazing. You can throw in some little like figures if you have some. But yeah, like you don't have to overthink sensory. And obviously Pinterest has a ton of ideas for indoor activities. So today it was very muddy. It has been like a wintry snow rain mix the past like 2 days. And so my entire backyard was like muddy and soggy. So the kids got super muddy. They got super wet because they loved splashing in the puddles. So we did cut the outside time a little bit short because they wanted to come in. My goal in the winter is an hour a day. If we don't make it a full hour, if they want to come inside, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We did not make it the full hour today. We came inside and we got in the bath. Obviously, we don't typically take a bath at 2:30 in the afternoon, but today we needed it. And that's another thing. If you are like cooped up inside with your kids, and they are like going crazy and you like are running out of ideas for them, put them in the bath. Even if it's 11 a.m., it doesn't matter what time it is, put them in the bath. They will love it. So took a bath, and then we just went ahead and put on our pajamas, and then 3 to 4 is like indoor playtime. So for us, we went down to our basement because this is where our main play area is. So we spend 1 hour down there. They can do, you know, whatever they want to do down there. They can play with whatever they want to play with. We did like blocks, we did magnet tiles. And then once that hour is up at 4 o'clock, they are allowed to watch TV. This is the point in the day where I'm like, okay, like we've had a busy day, it's been a long day, we've been productive. They haven't had much TV time at this point. Jonah has because of quiet time, but I'm okay with them having a TV time right now. So we came upstairs, We watch TV at 4, and then at 4:30 I get started with dinner. I know that sounds early, but I know I'm gonna get interrupted a bunch of times, and the goal is to eat between 5 and 6. So that usually is able to happen if I start at 4:30. So tonight, usually I make like a full-on dinner, but we had some leftover brisket from Christmas. So I warmed that up. I made some Brussels sprouts and some Bob Evans mashed potatoes. I definitely prefer making my own mashed potatoes, but I'm pregnant and tired, so I cheated. So we sat down to eat about 5:15. Usually Alex is home around the time that we eat dinner. He did get stuck at work. Something came up, so he was home after dinner tonight. So it was just the three of us eating, and then when we were done with dinner, usually this is bath time, but since we had one a little bit earlier, of course we didn't take a second one, and they were asking to play with Play-Doh. So normally we wouldn't play with Play-Doh at, 5:30, 5:45, but that's what they wanted to do because we weren't taking a bath. So that was totally fine. I let them get the Play-Doh out, and then Alex got home, and then pretty much from like dinner to bedtime is chaos. I didn't film any of that for like overlay footage just because that could be like a whole video. If you want to see a night routine, let me know in the comments. But pretty much it's like dinner, we go upstairs, bath. Bedtime is 7 for them, so they can play upstairs, do whatever they want to up there until about 6:45, and that's whenever we are like, okay, like brush our teeth. Usually they have their pajamas on at that point, read books, go to bed. So, and yeah, typically they are in bed about 7, and that is what my day with them looks like from morning to night. So I hope that you guys found this helpful and got some inspiration from this and got some ideas, and at least, like, obviously you don't have to do everything the way that I do it, but if you can at least sit down and come up with some kind of schedule for yourself, some kind of routine to get in. If you just feel like, you don't know what to do with them, you let the TV go for 4 hours nonstop today, you're like too anxious to get out of the house with them. I know I used to be that way. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. This is a little bit different than what I've done in the past. So yeah, I think this is going up next week. So happy New Year's. I hope that you guys had a wonderful holiday, and I hope that you are excited and motivated for the new year. Thank you so much for watching and being here, and I will see you in my next video.